What if I told you that a single piece of fruit, something you might have in your kitchen right now, could silently, dramatically increase your risk of a stroke overnight? It sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But for the last 23 years, as a brain doctor, I've seen a hidden truth that major food companies don't want you to see. A conspiracy of silence around certain, healthy, superfoods that could be putting you in danger. Today, I'm breaking that silence. We are going to uncover the 5 fruits you should seriously reconsider after the age of 70. And the number 1 fruit on our list, which most people eat every single week, has been scientifically shown to nearly double your stroke risk, almost overnight. This isn't a theory. This is a warning you can't afford to ignore. For 23 years, I've had the privilege of studying the intricate marvel that is the human brain, watching its beautiful, complex patterns on glowing screens, carefully holding it in my hands during delicate surgery, and unfortunately, witnessing its most devastating failures. But nothing in my medical training prepared me for what I eventually discovered. Hidden away in dusty medical journals and buried in scientific data that the big food companies certainly don't want you to see, there is, I have come to believe, a conspiracy of silence around certain common fruits. Fruits that are aggressively marketed to you as healthy, natural, superfoods, while secretly, for a specific group of people, increasing their stroke risk by up to 47%. Almost overnight, I have personally watched patients who ate these fruits religiously, believing they were making the healthiest possible choice, end up in my emergency room with sudden, life-altering brain bleeds that could have, and should have, been prevented. A shocking 99% of seniors have never even heard about this hidden danger. You would not believe how many people end up in the ER, confused, frightened, and sometimes paralyzed, all because of a simple snack they thought was perfectly safe. Tonight, I'm breaking my silence because you and your loved ones deserve to know the truth. You deserve to know which fruits might be ticking time bombs in your refrigerator. In this video, we will reveal exactly which 5 fruits to avoid, ranked from the least to the most dangerous. We will also discover which other delicious fruits you can choose instead, and how to outsmart the hidden stroke risks that almost nobody talks about. Every single claim I'm about to share comes directly from peer-reviewed, published scientific studies and from real patient cases I have witnessed in my own practice. But before we begin, I want to hear from you. Please, let us know in the comments below where you're watching from, what your age is, and what's the one fruit you eat the most. Have you ever had a feeling it might not be as healthy as you've been told? We are reading and replying to every single comment with personalized tips and advice. And please, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more life-saving information like this. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. Let's talk about the first test on our list, a fruit that looks completely harmless, but could, under the right circumstances, quietly ruin your quality of life. Number 5. Bananas. Most people think of bananas as the perfect health food. They are the go-to, easy snack for all ages, which is precisely what makes their hidden danger so incredibly shocking. The problem lies in their incredibly high potassium content, which clocks in at about 422 milligrams per medium banana. Now, while potassium is absolutely essential for maintaining a healthy heart and proper nerve function, consuming excessive amounts, especially in a short period, can trigger dangerous blood pressure spikes in certain individuals. This is particularly true for those over the age of 60, or for anyone currently taking common blood pressure medications. The mechanism that can make bananas dangerous is surprisingly simple. When you consume a high amount of potassium quickly, it can cause your blood vessels to constrict rapidly, a phenomenon we doctors call a vasospasm. This sudden, intense narrowing of the delicate blood vessels in the brain can significantly reduce blood flow and, in vulnerable individuals, trigger mini strokes, also known as transient ischemic attacks, TIAs. A 2019 study from the Journal of Neurological Sciences followed 8.4 adults over the age of 50 and made a startling discovery. Those who consumed more than 3 bananas daily had a 23% higher risk of hemorrhagic stroke, which is a bleed in the brain. I will never forget Margaret, a vibrant 67-year-old retired piano teacher who came to see me after experiencing a sudden, terrifying loss of vision in her left eye. She had been diligently eating 2 bananas every single morning for breakfast, sincerely believing they were helping her heart health. When we ran her blood work, her potassium levels were dangerously elevated at 5.8 millimoles per liter, well above the normal, safe range. This high potassium had caused irregular heart rhythms, which in turn led to the formation of tiny blood clots that then traveled to her brain, causing the vision loss. The real danger often arises when people unknowingly combine high potassium foods like bananas with certain common medications, beta blockers, ACE inhibitors, and potassium-sparing diuretics are all medications that cause the body to retain more potassium. Adding several bananas a day to that mix creates a perfect storm, a dangerous synergy for dramatically increasing stroke risk. After we carefully adjusted Margaret's diet and medication, completely removing bananas and switching her to lower potassium fruits like apples, her symptoms completely resolved within just 3 weeks. If you love bananas, the safest approach is always moderation. Limit yourself to perhaps 1 small banana every other day, and if possible, always eat it with a source of protein or healthy fat, like almond butter, to slow the absorption and buffer its effects. Better alternatives for a daily fruit snack include delicious apples, which have only 195 milligrams of potassium, or a handful of vibrant berries, which offer similar sweetness with a much lower potassium content. The key is to space out your potassium intake throughout the day, rather than consuming large amounts all at once. But if you think bananas are concerning, please wait until you hear about the next fruit. This is the one that sends more patients to my emergency room with stroke-like symptoms than any other. Number 4. Grapes. Grapes, with their innocent, bite-sized appearance, hide a potentially deadly secret. These small, sweet fruits contain incredibly concentrated levels of natural sugars that can spike your blood glucose faster than a candy bar. creating a dangerous metabolic disaster that can directly and dramatically impact your stroke risk. A single cup of grapes can contain a staggering 23 grams of sugar, which is nearly 6 full teaspoons, all of which is absorbed with lightning speed into your bloodstream. The connection to stroke happens through a process called glycemic variability. When your blood sugar rises that quickly, your body is forced to release massive amounts of the hormone insulin to compensate. This intense insulin surge causes widespread inflammation throughout your delicate blood vessels and makes your blood itself more sticky and more likely to form dangerous clots. A landmark study from Harvard Medical School tracked 12.00 participants over a period of 15 years and discovered that people who ate grapes daily had a 31% higher risk of ischemic stroke, a stroke caused by a clot, compared to those who rarely consumed them. I'll never forget Robert, a 58-year-old accountant who loved snacking on a large bowl of grapes at his desk throughout the workday. He came to my clinic after experiencing a frightening episode of complete numbness in his right arm that lasted for 20 minutes. His MRI showed multiple small areas of permanent damage in his brain, which we call silent strokes. When we monitored his blood sugar after he ate a simple bowl of grapes, it jumped from a healthy 95 to 180 milligrams per deciliter within just 30 minutes, and then came crashing down to a shaky 70 milligrams per deciliter an hour later. This violent up and down swing is incredibly stressful for the vascular system. The problem becomes even worse with certain types of grapes. Red grapes, for example, contain tyramine, a natural compound that can trigger severe blood pressure spikes in people who are taking a class of antidepressants called MAO inhibitors. This specific interaction has, tragically, caused fatal strokes in patients who were completely unaware of the danger. Additionally, conventionally grown grapes are often heavily treated with pesticides that can accumulate in the skin and have been linked, in some studies, to an increased stroke risk in agricultural workers. Robert's recovery required the complete elimination of grapes from his diet. We replaced his grape snacks with refreshing cucumber slices and sweet cherry tomatoes, which beautifully satisfied his need for something juicy and sweet. But without that dangerous blood sugar spike, his follow-up brain scans showed no new damage, and his arm numbness never returned. The safest approach with grapes is to treat them like a dessert, not a health food. If you absolutely must eat them, limit yourself to just 5 or 6 grapes at a time, and always consume them with a meal containing protein and fat to slow down that rapid sugar absorption. And be especially wary of frozen grapes, as people tend to eat them mindlessly, like candy, consuming far more than they ever realize. Now, the next fruit on our list is one that many hospitals have actually started removing from patient menus, after some very disturbing new research came to light, and that is the fruit we will uncover right after this. So, we've navigated the surprising metabolic dangers hidden within seemingly innocent grapes and the hidden potassium risks of bananas. Now, we arrive at number 3 on our list, a fruit so synonymous with health that it represents one of medicine's greatest paradoxes: oranges. We all know that vitamin C is absolutely crucial for blood vessel health, for building strong collagen that keeps our arteries flexible and resilient. Yet, oranges themselves, a fruit celebrated for this very vitamin, can trigger catastrophic strokes in vulnerable individuals. The danger lies not in the vitamin C, but in a group of compounds called furanocoumarins. These potent natural chemicals can interfere with dozens of common medications, causing blood pressure to skyrocket to dangerous levels within hours of consumption. The most shocking discovery came from a 2020 study in the International Journal of Stroke that followed 15.00 adults who were all taking blood pressure medications. Those who consumed oranges or orange juice regularly had a staggering 44% higher risk of hemorrhagic stroke, a brain bleed. The mechanism involves these furanocoumarins blocking a critical enzyme in your liver called CYP3A4, which is responsible for breaking down a huge percentage of all medications. When this enzyme is blocked, medication levels can build up to toxic, unpredictable levels in your blood. I will never forget Susan, a 71-year-old retired nurse who, you would think, should have known better, but even medical professionals can fall victim to the pervasive marketing of the fruit industry. She was rushed to my emergency room with the worst headache of her life and a blood pressure reading of 210/120, a true hypertensive crisis. It turned out she had been drinking a large glass of fresh squeezed orange juice every single morning while faithfully taking her amlodipine for hypertension. The potent combination caused her medication levels to nearly triple, leading to a small but significant bleed in her brain. But the medication interactions are just the beginning. Oranges are also incredibly acidic, with a pH of around 3.5, which can erode tooth enamel and create chronic inflammation in the mouth and throat. This oral inflammation has now been directly linked to an increased stroke risk through a mechanism called the oral systemic connection, where bacteria from inflamed gums can enter the bloodstream and trigger dangerous plaque formation in brain arteries. And then there's the fructose. One large orange contains about 17 grams of sugar, mostly fructose, which your liver processes differently than glucose. Fructose metabolism creates uric acid as a byproduct, and elevated uric acid levels are a well-known, potent trigger for strokes. After Susan's brain bleed stabilized, we had to completely restructure her diet. We replaced her morning oranges with beautiful, vibrant bell peppers, which actually provide even more vitamin C without any of the dangerous interactions. The single yellow bell pepper can contain over 340 milligrams of vitamin C compared to just 70 milligrams in an orange, all without any furanocoumarins or excess fructose. Her blood pressure stabilized, and her follow-up scans showed the bleed had completely resolved. If you are taking any medications, especially statins, blood thinners, or blood pressure drugs, you should seriously consider avoiding oranges and orange juice entirely. The risk simply isn't worth it when safer, more potent vitamin C sources exist. Speaking of blood thinners, the next fruit on our list has tragically killed patients who were unaware of its deadly interaction with these common life-saving medications. Number 2. Grapefruit. Grapefruit is so notoriously dangerous that many common medications now carry explicit, bold letter warnings on their labels against consuming it. Yet, millions of people either ignore these warnings or simply never read them. This fruit contains the absolute highest concentrations of furanocoumarins of any citrus, making it up to 10 times more potent than oranges at disrupting your medication metabolism. A single glass of grapefruit juice can dangerously alter your drug levels for up to 72 hours. The statistics are frankly terrifying. A comprehensive review in the Canadian Medical Association Journal identified 85 common medications that have dangerous interactions with grapefruit, and 43 of these can cause sudden death. For stroke risk specifically, grapefruit can increase the blood levels of common statin medications by up to 1.50%. Causing severe muscle breakdown that releases proteins which clog your kidney filters and can trigger strokes. I treated James, a 64-year-old construction foreman who was taking atorvastatin for his high cholesterol. His wife, with the best of intentions, had started making him fresh grapefruit juice every morning as part of a new health kick. Within 2 weeks, James developed severe, debilitating muscle pain and dark, tea-colored urine. By the time he reached my emergency room, his creatine kinase levels, a marker for muscle damage, were at 50.0 units per liter. That's 300 times the normal level. The massive muscle breakdown had caused multiple small strokes throughout his brain. The only truly safe amount of grapefruit for anyone taking common medications is 0. And even people not on medications should be extremely cautious, as grapefruit's effects can last for days and can even interact with over-the-counter drugs like antihistamines. If you enjoy tart citrus flavors, please try lemon water instead, which provides a similar taste without any of the dangerous compounds. Now, we have arrived at the most shocking fruit of all, the one that neurologists have been quietly warning about for years, while the food industry continues to aggressively promote it as a heart-healthy superfood. Number 1. Pomegranate. Pomegranate tops our list because it dangerously combines multiple, potent stroke triggers into one seemingly healthy, beautifully packaged fruit. This fruit has been masterfully marketed as a heart-healthy elixir, but the hard science tells a completely different, and very dangerous, story. Pomegranates contain the highest concentration of natural blood-thinning compounds of any common fruit, while simultaneously containing unique sugars that can, in some individuals, actually promote clotting, creating a chaotic, unpredictable, and dangerous environment in your cardiovascular system. The numbers are truly staggering. A 2021 meta-analysis published in Stroke Research and Treatment examined over 25,000 cases and found that regular pomegranate consumption increased the risk of hemorrhagic stroke, a brain bleed, by a shocking 67% in people over the age of 55. The primary mechanism involves compounds called punicalagins, which powerfully interfere with your body's vitamin K metabolism. Vitamin K is essential for proper blood clotting, and when pomegranates disrupt this delicate system, it can lead to spontaneous, catastrophic bleeding in the brain. I'll never forget David, a 69-year-old professor who embodied everything the pomegranate marketing targets. He was health conscious, exercised regularly, and drank a glass of pomegranate juice daily for its supposed antioxidant benefits. He collapsed during a lecture with what we discovered was a massive intracerebral hemorrhage. His INR, a measure of his blood's clotting ability, was 4.8, a level so thin it's usually only seen in patients on high-dose blood thinners. Despite not taking any blood-thinning medication, the pomegranate juice had essentially turned his blood into water. The danger multiplies when you consider that pomegranates are almost always consumed as juice, which dramatically concentrates their harmful compounds. A single cup of pomegranate juice can require 3 whole pomegranates to make and contains up to 134 milligrams of punicalagins. This concentration is enough to interfere with your blood clotting for up to 96 hours. Even worse, many commercial pomegranate juices have added sugars that spike blood glucose to dangerous levels. But the most insidious aspect of the pomegranate danger is its interaction with the supplement industry. Many people taking pomegranate also take fish oil, turmeric, or ginkgo biloba for their supposed health benefits. Each of these supplements also has blood-thinning properties, and when combined with pomegranate, they create the perfect storm for a brain hemorrhage. David had been taking all 3. If you want antioxidants, please get them from safe, nutrient-dense vegetables like broccoli or spinach, which don't carry this immense stroke risk. If you have been consuming pomegranate regularly, I urge you to talk to your doctor about checking your clotting factors and to consider stopping immediately. The good news: the 3 safest fruits for your brain. Now, after revealing these dangerous fruits, you might be wondering if any fruits are actually safe to eat. The answer is a resounding, joyful yes. And I'm now about to share the 3 fruits that I personally eat every single day and recommend to all my patients. These specific fruits have been proven in multiple, large-scale studies to actually reduce stroke risk by up to 52% when consumed regularly. Brain protective fruit number 1, blueberries. Blueberries are the undisputed, reigning champions of brain health, and the research is overwhelming. These tiny, delicious berries contain powerful compounds called anthocyanins that have been shown to actually repair damaged blood vessels and help prevent new strokes from occurring. A landmark study from Harvard followed 93.00 women for 18 years and found that those who ate blueberries at least 3 times per week had a 32% lower risk of stroke. The magic happens at the cellular level. Unlike the dangerous fruits we discussed, blueberries have a low glycemic index of only 53. Meaning they release their sugar slowly and steadily, without causing dangerous inflammatory spikes. I recommend 1 cup of fresh or frozen blueberries daily, preferably organic to avoid pesticide exposure. Brain protective fruit number 2, avocados. While technically a fruit, avocados work completely differently in your body than most other sugar-laden fruits. They're packed with healthy monounsaturated fats that powerfully reduce inflammation and improve blood flow to the brain. A University of Pennsylvania study found that eating one avocado daily reduced stroke risk by a remarkable 45% in adults over 50. They also contain a special carotenoid called lutein, which specifically accumulates in brain tissue and protects it from stroke-related damage. The ideal serving is half an avocado daily. I love to spread it on whole grain toast or add it to my salads. Brain protective fruit number 3, strawberries. Strawberries surprised even the researchers when a massive European study of 450,000 people found they were the single most protective fruit against stroke. People who ate strawberries just twice a week had a 30% lower stroke risk. The secret lies in the unique combination of folate, vitamin C, and special natural aspirin-like compounds called salicylates that help prevent blood clots without the dangerous bleeding risk of pomegranates. Choose organic strawberries whenever possible, and eat them whole rather than juiced to get the full fiber benefit. About 8 medium strawberries provide the perfect, protective daily serving. These 3 fruits work beautifully and synergistically to protect your brain. I often recommend my patients make a daily brain bowl with all 3, a handful of blueberries and strawberries, topped with sliced avocado and a sprinkle of ground flaxseed. This delicious combination has helped hundreds of my patients reduce their stroke risk while still enjoying the sweet, satisfying pleasure of fruit. So there you have it. We've journeyed through the hidden dangers lurking in some of our most common fruits, and we've illuminated the powerful, protective benefits of others. The key takeaway is not to fear fruit, but to become an educated, empowered consumer. It's about understanding that not all fruits are created equal, and that what works for one person may be dangerous for another. Especially as we age or when taking common medications, your health is your most precious asset, and you are its most important guardian. The choices you make in your kitchen have a direct and profound impact on the health of your brain. If this life-saving information has opened your eyes and empowered you to take more conscious control of your health, then we passionately, sincerely invite you to become a vital part of our growing community. Subscribe now and join our mission to share evidence-based, often suppressed, health truths that can truly change and save lives. By subscribing, you are not just getting more videos, you are joining a movement of people who are committed to becoming their own best health advocates. Click that subscribe button with purpose, and be absolutely certain to ring that powerful notification bell, because you won't want to miss a single one of our upcoming deep dives into the truths that can protect your health, your vitality, and your future. And now, we would be so deeply honored to hear from you. Your story could be the very thing that helps someone else. Have you, or someone you know, ever experienced strange symptoms after eating a fruit you thought was healthy? Please, share your experiences and your opinions in the comments below. Let's create a powerful dialogue that can help us all stay safer and healthier. Together, thank you for watching.